and only needs one more victory in a class equal Frank Buckle's record. Number 3, Circus Plume. Number 4 is one of the 2 Irish fillies, easy to copy, ridden by Michael Kinnan, who hasn't won the Oaks but was second in the Derby on Carlingford Castle. Number 6 is Cance, Greville Starkey, who won the Oaks on Homeward Bound in 1964 and is totally recovered from his bad neck. Number 6, Cance. Number 7 is Malaak, Bill Shoemaker, who has won 8,400 odd races, but not a classic in England. Number 7, Malaak. Media Luna is ridden by Paul Cook, who was second in the Oaks on Slightly Dangerous. Ray Cochrane on Mildred has never won a classic so far, although he went pretty close in the 2,000 guineas on Chief Singer. Number 9, Mildred. Willie Carson, of course, has a wonderful record in the Oaks. 3 of them he's won: Byrene, Dunfermline and Sun Princess, and he's also been placed 4 times. Here he rides Miss Bewley for Jeff Ragg. That's Optimistic Lass and Walter Swinburne. And behind Optimistic Lass is Our Shirley. Then comes Out of Shot and Pat Edery. Poquito Queen is behind that in the Diamonds. We haven't seen... that, in fact, is Rough's Luck, where we're seeing there in the hoops. And as you can see, they're beginning to canter down, turn in front of the stands. There's Rough's Luck. I'd really rather see Poquito Queen canter down, who's just behind her. That's Out of Shot on the right of your picture. I love this shot. It shows the uphill last furlong. There's Poquito Queen, going down nicely, Joe, I think. Steve Cawthon, of course, on Poquito Queen. He's full of hope that he's going to turn the tables on Optimistic Lass, but she is a maiden, and as I told you, in the last 33 years, only one has succeeded in an English classic, and that was Sun Princess in last year's Oaks. That's Rough's Luck, an outsider. Yves Saint-Martin, as you can see, rides pretty short, but then who doesn't? Only Joe.
Well, a lot of the boys these days ride short, you know.
You don't.
I've got short legs, John.
Well, I'd love to discuss Joe's legs, but let's briefly take a break and come back presently.
And we rejoin you with a full show of betting on the Oaks. We have joint favourites Circus Plume and Optimistic Lass, both at 4-1. Poquito Queen 15-2, and Malaak also a 15-2 chance. Real Gold 8-1. Easy to Copy and Cance both at 14-1. Miss Bewley at 16s. Out of Shot 20-1. Spinelli 33-1 from 25s. Media Luna, Rough's Luck, Our Shirley and Mildred all at 66-1. And Camden Millie is the 100-1 outsider, all 15 show.
And they're walking across towards the stands, and there is Lester Piggott on Circus Plume. As we told you, Lester won on Miss Bewley at Goodwood. He could presumably have ridden her. So Bruff Scott asked him what the reason was for his choice. You could roll the windows on Bruff Scott a little bit earlier.
I'd rather have nobody.
Your second thoughts after winning on Miss Bewley?
No, I think she's the best one, yeah.
John Dunlop said he...
Carry on. Sorry, we seem to have lost the great man there. In any case, I suspect that he'd probably told John Dunlop he would ride Circus Plume in the first place, and I'm pretty sure he's made the right choice, although Miss Bewley certainly isn't out of it. But let's hear from him now. Here's Lester talking.
Well, I rode Circus Plume before I rode Miss Goodwood, and I took the ride on her after I rode her at Newbury. You know.
Your second thoughts after winning on Miss Bewley?
No, I think she's the best one, you know.
John Dunlop said he's not absolutely certain whether she'll last the mile and a half. What do you feel?
Well, it's possible, but I think she'll stay, you know. She seems that she would, you know.
That's the Irish.
You think he's chosen right, Willie? I mean, Joe, good heavens, I'm
I
so
think that's
I
another
knew
very-
I'd call you Willie
I think
before
that's
the
a
day
very,
was
very
out.
good choice of rides here, because I saw the filly win at Newbury. She won very, very comfortable, beating rather a good filly, which was unlucky at the time, Limesick, who appears to run second to most of the best fillies in the country.
Yep, she's certainly got a tremendous chance on form. Sweating just a little bit, but I don't blame her, so am I. Number 3, Circus Plume. That's Circus Plume. Number 7, Bill Shoemaker on Malaak. Well, Bill only arrived in England the day before yesterday, or indeed maybe yesterday. He rode here yesterday, in fact. So Brough asked him how much he knew about Malaak.
Well, I rode her here this morning very early, and I got a good feel of her. And Michael Stout, who is a great trainer, told me some of her peculiarities and some of the strategy that we're going to use this afternoon.
And what are the tactics going to be?
Well, he said that she can get the trip and she shouldn't be too far, from the pace. Depends on how fast the pace is.
And Bill, you've won everything in the book, but never an English classic. How important is it to you?
Well, it would be a nice topper on a pretty good career that I've had. I would love to do that.
Well, and we'd love to see him do it. He made a lot of the running on Hawaiian Sound in the Derby, Joe, didn't he? I don't know.
He did, yes.
But on the other hand, in America, he's famous for coming from behind.
He's got a marvellous judge of pace. He's got a clock in his head. But this is a nice filly to ride. I saw her at Chester, and when Walter Swinburne won her, and he just tucked him behind. He just pulled right at the thread, and she strode away. She's got to get the trip. She's already a winner over 1.5 miles.
Yeah, well, she's unfortunately got the burden of my selection, but I think Bill Shoemaker will make up for that. Number 7, Malaak. So, walking round in the heat at the start. There is Walter Swinburne on Optimistic Lass. Well, the most controversial trial for the Oaks, and arguably one of the best ones, was the Musidora Stakes at York. So let's look at that race now with Optimistic Lass still quite a long way off the pace. You can just see her coming down the outside. Lester Piggott had been in front on Sandy Island with Satinette, but here comes Walter Swinburne, and really you can hardly see that his saddle's going back. Now watch, towards the outside in the diamonds is Steve Cawthon on Poquito's Queen, and just see how, although Optimistic Lass goes past Satinette and Sandy Island to win comfortably, just look how Poquito Queen is gaining in the last furlong. She's really coming, isn't she, Joe?
He's running on very well in the last furlong, but don't forget Walter's saddle in this particular race. He was really back on his flanks. He's been doing a balancing act since they've sort of virtually jumped out the gate. I think for the filly, more or less, has done all the work herself.
You would think that would make an awful lot of difference.
It would make a very big difference, I'm sure. But today I've noticed she's got different girths on. There's no elastic girths.
Well, we shall see. She is by Mr. Prospector, who basically is an influence for speed rather than stamina. But Walter chose her instead of Malaak, and Brough Scott, talking to him beforehand, asked him why he made that choice.
Because I think she's the better one of the two. But I hope I'm right, but I could be wrong.
What about staying the trip?
She's not bred to, really. Just got a lot of speed. But she's very relaxed and has got a lovely temperament, so I'm confident and hope she will.
And how different will your saddle be this time?
Oh, I'm sure it'll stay there this time.
Yeah, they're very cool down at the start, but I don't suspect they are in the betting ring, so let's join John McCraig and find out.
Well, had this Gold Seal Oaks gone off in time, Circus Plume would have started favourite, but she won't now. 7-2 is the best price you can get Optimistic Lass, because the offices have come in for her, and that's taken over from Circus Plume, who is 9-2 and 4. It'd be close between what price she's returned, 9-2 or 4, but it's 7-2 the field Optimistic Lass. Cans popular with the public, but not with the big bookmakers. 16-1 you can still get Cans, so they're sending money in for Cans. There's one bet from an outsider, Media Luna, £250 each way at 66-1, wins that punter £16,500 or so. But the news is really that although the two favourites are sweating, Circus Plume and Optimistic Lass were sweating going down here, the punters are still coming in for them, but as the office money has proved the stronger, Optimistic Lass, 7-2 favourite for the Oaks.
Well, there's John McCrinnick. I think probably Willie Carson is already in stall 12. Willie Carson, of course, was the third choice for Miss Bewley, and Bruff Scott very daringly asked him whether she wasn't the crumbs from Lester Piggott's table.
Could be, yeah. Yeah, but these crumbs sometimes get together and make into a slice of bread, don't they? Let's hope that happens today. She's nice filly. I haven't actually ridden her before, but I'm expecting, you know, for her to run a good race. Jeff Ragg seems very pleased with her, so Jeff's told me all about her, so I hope I can do what he wants me to do with her.
Well, I love that answer of Willie. The few crumbs to make a slice of bread. Here you are, Graham, for the 206 Oaks.
The first sponsored by Gold Seal. Out of shot. One of the last to go into the stalls. Miss Bewley now 14 to 1 from 16 to 1. And it's out of shot with the blindfold on, just about to go in. Swishing her tail is a mannerism. That's a view of the head-on position. Out of shot going into stall number 2.
Well done, Jeff.
That's it. They're under orders and they're away. Rough's Luck nearest to us, and towards the rear in the very early stages is Cans, but it's Mildred going on. Mildred getting her moment of glory in the lead in the Oaks from R. Shirley in second. Then Malaak is third. Behind these comes Spinell, and behind Spinell comes on the inside Rough's Luck, and on the outer of Rough's Luck is Paquito's Queen. Circus Plume in the mid-division at this stage, and Optimistic Glass and Cans, the Mohammed pair, are the back markers at this stage. But it's Mildred in the lead. Mildred from Rough's Luck, and then up on the outside are Shirley, followed by Spinell and Paquito's Queen, then Malaak and Circus Plume, and just in behind these comes Easy to Copy. But it's Mildred in the lead from R. Shirley in second place as they run through the first 4 furlongs, a mile from home. Mildred leads. From in second place are Shirley, then Rough's Luck and Spinell. Up on the outside, Camden Millie trying to make up a bit of ground. Lester Piggott in the mid-division at this stage and on the rails. Mildred now joined by R. Shirley. Mildred, R. Shirley with Malaak going sweetly up on the outside. Then Rough's Luck and Spinell. Mildred just swished her tail there at the rear of the field, is out of shot going quite sweetly, although she is last, is no more than a dozen lengths off the pace. R. Shirley and Mildred from Rough's Luck and Malaak, then Camden Millie with Miss Bewley making ground on the outside. Leicester is next to the rails. They've passed the halfway stage in the Gold Seal Oaks, just over 5 to go, and it's R. Shirley, Mildred on the rails, Malaak on the outside of her. Then in behind these comes Spinell, Miss Bewley, Lester Piggott still next to the rails, bang next to the rails in the mid-division in the dark jacket. Out of shot begins to make up ground from the rear of the field. Cants is towards the rear. Rough's Luck is last of all. They're rounding Tattenham Corner, and it's R. Shirley in the lead with Malaak now going up on the outside. Bill Shoemaker committed, goes for home on Malaak, but Miss Bewley is second, then R. Shirley. Look at Leicester coming sweetly and through into 4th place, and it's Miss Bewley in the lead. Miss Bewley on the outside of Malaak, then comes on the outside, finishing quite well, Real Gold. Also with them is Circus Plume. Just over a furlong and a half to go, and it's Lester Piggott on Circus Plume who strikes the home from Miss Bewley in second place. Just over a furlong to go, Circus Plume with Media Luna staying on most determinedly. Also coming with a strong one is Optimistic Glass, then Paquito Queen, but it's Lester Piggott bidding for his 27th Classic from Media Luna, and Media Luna with out of shot. Media Luna out of shot, and Circus Plume. Circus Plume's going to get there. A record 27th for Leicester. Circus Plume the winner. Media Luna is second, out of shot third, and then came Paquito Queen 4, a big gap to Optimistic Glass. Then Spinell, Miss Bewley, Malaak, Real Gold, Cants, Mildred behind these, Camden Millie, Rough's Luck, Easy to Copy, and last of all was R. Shirley. And so the result of this Gold Seal Oaks, Leicester has done it. Lester Piggott the winner. A win for number 3, Circus Plume, owned by Sir Robin McAlpine, trained at Arundel by John Dunlop, ridden by Lester Piggott. So that's a record equaling 27th Classic for Lester Piggott. the 4-1 second favourite winner of this Oaks. Second was number 8 Media Luna, and a brilliant race for Paul Cook, who rode her. He had finished second earlier in the Oaks on Slightly Dangerous, second